Okay, chapter 26 is all about the Cold War, which kind of officially started in 1945, and it actually goes all the way up to present day. This chapter does. The Cold War ended in 1989 and officially in 1991 with the fall of the Soviet Union. So we're going to walk through that. This is the first chapter to Unit 6. We're going to start with section 1, as usual, with the introduction. In April of 1945, near the end of the war, a historic encounter took place between U.S. and Soviet troops in Germany. Although the two allies had joined forces to defeat the Nazis, the two armies had been fighting on different fronts. So now, as they moved across German territory, the American soldiers from the west and the Soviet soldiers from the east, they came face to face at the Elbe River in East Germany. And you can see a map there on your screen. That red line is the river. Although they were unfamiliar with each other, the Americans stood on one bank of the river and waved, while the Soviet soldiers hailed them from the other side. Spotting a small boat nearby, U.S. Lieutenant Albert L. Kotzebue and a few of his men made their way across the river. There, the soldiers embraced each other warmly. One American later recalled, "We didn't know what to expect from the Russians," but he added, "If you put an American uniform on them, they could have been American." The following day, senior officers from the two armies met for a formal handshake and photographs in the nearby town of Torgau. The U.S. and the Soviet Union had much to celebrate at the end of the war. But the good feelings of April 1945 would not last for long. Tensions soon arose over their different visions for the post-war world. Within a few years, they had become locked in a fierce struggle for power known as the Cold War. In this chapter, you guys are going to learn about why and how these two great powers, the U.S. and the Soviet Union, came into conflict. Also, they never directly fought. There was never a war between the U.S. and the Soviet Union, but there were lots of little puppet wars, is what we'll call them. And so other nations were drawn into the Cold War, and even how this war itself influences the world today.